2. What is up, everybody? It's Zachary Reality, and welcome back to Zachary Reality. We are here for a one-on-one interview sit-down with Ashely Moore from Temptation Island. Hey.
Hello.
Hello. I'm so excited to get to know you and chat. I mean, I've been like binging the show the last couple of days, and I'm just like, girl, you deserve better.
Trust me, I know. It's so hard watching it back and realizing how everything unfolded after the fact. So
Yeah.
it's okay. We're here. We made it.
We're here and we'll get into a little bit, but we met like through mutual friends. We have a couple mutual friends, Clynette and Ashley. And did you like follow me on TikTok before or like know anything about
I don't
me?
I was following you on Instagram before, and then I met the mutual and I was following him and I was like, oh my God, I love Zachary Reality. And so he connected us. So
So
worked
thank
out.
you. I love you. Are you a big reality TV fan? Like what are some of your favorite shows?
I used to be really into all the Bachelor, Bachelorette seasons. I really haven't
Mhm.
watched it in probably years, but that was probably what got me hooked on your page to begin with.
For
Um,
sure. And did you feel like The Bachelorette on Temptation Island? I mean, one of 4.
I wouldn't quite put it there, but you could look at it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you had a lot of control. Like there was a lot of guys who wanted to date you and were throwing themselves at you. And I mean, you had power in that game. You were a lead character.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard transition and switch to make once I realized like I am single and I kind of need to play this game and live in the moment that I was given.
Right. And I don't want to call it a game. Like, what would you call it? Like a journey?
Yeah,
Like
not a
a,
game. Journey. I would call it a journey. I wanted to live in the journey, and switching it from going on it in a relationship to being single to dating other people was an interesting experience.
yeah, I'm a little confused with the concept of the show. I'm just like, how is this possible? What kind of couple wants to sign themselves up for such a disaster? I mean, it seems like with you, you were all about like relief. Like I knew he was going to cheat on me anyway, but like, why would you want to sign up for this show with your man who is known to stray?
I think I was so stuck in a toxic situation. Like I was just listening to everything he was saying to me, and he had me so convinced that he was this great man and he would change and wouldn't cheat on me again. So I don't know. We did it very last minute. We
Mm,
were probably in the last like week or two. It was final rounds when we started interviewing. Everyone else had been interviewing for months. So the
mm.
opportunity presented itself. We were kind of like, Grant didn't want to do it. And then slowly I was like, I guess we'll decide like once we get it. And because we were so late in the process, it was like one to 2 weeks. And they're like, all right, you're going to Hawaii. And so we really didn't think as much as we should have about it. I don't regret going on it, but there wasn't that much depth into the thought process of doing it. It was kind of like,
Mhm.
I need to figure out if this man can be loyal to me or not. And this is a perfect opportunity. Odds are he's not going to, which like broke my heart, obviously. But I don't think I would have ever left him otherwise.
It almost like holds you accountable, especially with the whole world watching you and questioning you. And you're just like, oh my God, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I gave him another chance. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I
But
know.
I
It was,
totally get like, I get this whirlwind that you were like, wow, it's last minute.
yeah.
What were you saying?
No, I don't know what I was saying now,
Okay,
but
okay.
go
I'm
ahead.
like, I do not want to interrupt a good thought, but I was like, this whirlwind of just like finding out at the last minute a couple weeks before, like I completely understand why you would want to say yes to an opportunity, yes to life. And I mean, that is a great way to go on this show and figure it out. But like, how did you get casted? Like, did they reach out to you? Did you apply? Like, what were the intricacies?
I have a big friend group out in LA that are from like older MTV shows. So one of them helps
Hmm.
cast for shows now. So he posted it and was like, it's on Netflix, last call. And I was like, fuck it, submit us. And then I got a call the next day and Grant was like, don't answer it. They left a voicemail. It was just like a sign, everything she was saying. So called her back and it was downhill from there.
Yeah. And of course, you guys are like the perfect people for this situation. I mean, you gave great
Oh,
TV, if nothing else.
the way they were interviewing us too, I could tell like how badly they wanted us. Not that I want to sound that way, but I was like, do they act like this towards everyone? Or are they like, are we that fucked up that you want us on the show?
I mean, you both are entertaining and like, you're both, I mean, he's a really big personality and you were more the level-headed one, but your dynamic was extremely interesting and there was a lot to be explored. And it's almost better that you didn't sit months into casting because then you would have got too much in your head about it. It wouldn't have
I'm
been
sure
as
we would have broken up.
authentic.
Yeah, we would have broken up 30 times between then and the show.
Yeah. How many times did you guys break up? Like from the start of your relationship to the end?
There's probably 3 main breakups. When he
Okay.
first
So three
cheated, when we
times.
started dating, and then 6 months later, he broke up with me because I was holding resentment, and then we got back together, and then probably it was like 2 months before the show, 2 or 3 months before the show, we had broken up and just gotten back together. So, can you hear that? Do you want me to go turn off my washing
No, it's
machine?
fine.
Okay.
Oh, no, no, it's fine. It'll go away in a sec. Okay. It seems like his biggest issue was at the reunion is that like you were posting online and kind of like feeding into the fire. Like that is what it seems like his biggest issue was. Do you feel like doing podcasts or interviews or talking about it is like beating a dead horse, or do you feel like I deserve to tell my experience and share the story since we just opened up to the world?
I think he's just losing his mind. Like, I don't have a lot to say on what he's doing. I don't know what his path is here. I think no matter what I had done, if I had sat there and done nothing, he would have something to say. So it doesn't really matter. I think he's just pissed off that people don't like him as a person and he's not willing to accept that.
I definitely felt like watching it, like he was almost he looked to you for way too much validation about himself for way too long, and he put all of that pressure on you to like destroy you as a person because it was like he was like mirroring himself with like his confidence and insecurity. So I just feel like you did not deserve that, and I wish that you never got back with him so long ago, but now I feel like you're finally done and you're in a better place. Am I correct?
You are so correct. I regret it. And I had so much anxiety even being back. Like the whole time I was back with him, I was miserable. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to live with myself when this all comes out and everyone sees it. Like I already can't. I didn't even want to go out in public with him. Like I was mortified, even to be around like our friends that knew. So I don't really know what I was thinking. I think I just needed to give it one more shot. But yeah,
Hmm.
he was deflecting a lot. And he had me convinced from when we got back together until the show aired that I was just going to look like a raging bitch the whole time. Like I
That
fully had
tracks.
no idea how I was going to come off when this aired.
Everyone loves you. You're such a queen. I feel like you must feel so validated. And he definitely took the opportunity when you were in Bali to convince the people closest to you that he changed, which was manipulative. And I feel like he was only trying to change to prove a point for his ego. And he was using you as this example when he knew you weren't the one such a long time ago. And that's why he had no reason mistreating you during the show. I mean, the only reason you were being mean to him is because he was cheating on you.
Yeah.
Like, I could not understand two sides of this argument while I was watching it, and, like, I just, like,
There's
needed to tell you that.
no Oh my god, you're like taking the words out of my mouth because I can say it, but like you're analyzing it and then the fact that someone from an outside perspective can see it exactly how I see it, I'm like, thank God. But yeah, it's no matter what you say, it's just like not getting through to him. So it's really
Yeah,
not there's no point in arguing with him. It's kind of just like,
yeah,
okay, think what you want, live in your own world. Like I know whatever you're living in is not that great. So
for sure, and the arguing will go on forever and ever and ever because that's just, like, the cycle of it, so eventually things will fade away. I think, like, with the show airing, it sucks that you have to relive everything, but it also, like you said, was what it's holding you accountable as well to not go back to those toxic cycles, so I'm sure once the show dies down in, like, a couple months, like, you won't be arguing with him anymore.
no, he's blocked. Like we're so good. After that TikTok live situation, obviously we did the podcast for the reunion, but after that, like I'm so like there's just no helping. There's no reason to stay in contact. There's no helping him. I like felt bad and he used his daughter as a string to keep me like feeling bad and I just can't do it anymore. It's like not my responsibility. But
Yeah. I understand. Good for you. Did you see Leah and Miguel's video that they made saying that he DM'd her?
yes, I like hate that he's getting attention for it. But the funniest part to me is when we got back together, I noticed he was following her. And I had been talking about Love Island, like I was obsessed with it. And he fully was like, "Who's Leah? I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know who that is." I'm like,
Oh no.
now this
That's
all
what
came
gave
out, and
him
I was like,
the
okay. I'm thinking he had already messaged her at this point when he was like, "Oh, I don't know who that is." He's just a
No,
weirdo.
I
I
think
don't know.
he probably didn't know who she was. I think you told
He
him
was
someone that was
following her.
cool.
He
Oh,
was
okay. I
following
was
her, and
like,
I was like, "How do you
maybe
know
you
who
put
that
the
is?"
idea in his head.
Yeah, maybe I did. I have no idea what the timeline of that was, but yeah, whenever I brought it up, he would fully, because I made a bunch of like, I drafted a bunch of TikToks of Leah voiceovers and stuff like that, and he's like, "I don't know who that is." I'm like, okay.
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know what, Grant, we wish you well. Good luck. And I really hope that he, changes and stuff. I kind of think that both of you are going to end up on another show because you were such good TV
Hopefully
gold.
not
Like,
together.
hopefully not together. But what was like some of the best parts of this experience, like besides him? Like, how fun was it to be there in Hawaii and meet all these guys and film this show?
So when it first all started, I was so overwhelmed. Like the first week, I just cried the whole time. I felt so bad for these single men having to deal with us and be basically our therapists. But
Mm-hmm.
over time, we all obviously broke out of our shells. I became single, and it was such a new environment for me. I feel like, not to keep talking about Grant, but like when I met Grant, that was kind of when I started my like life having fun, because I worked so hard in my
Mm-hmm.
career in my like early 20s and was just focused on all of that and busting my ass and making money and doing all that. So Grant was like one of the first people I dated as an adult. So then being thrown into that situation, like I never really had, I had like a South Florida glow up in the last few years. So I never really had guys like throwing themselves at me or like being attentive to me like that. So it was definitely a new experience that I will probably never get again, but I loved it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure like 9 guys that are like single. I mean, my only issue with these guys is it's like, why do you want to impose on a relationship? Like, clearly there's a toxic situation or something that all the couples are working through. Like, why would you want to bring that in there? So, what do you think the goals were for these guys?
I think that we had two totally different situations going on in each house. Our guys were so respectful. Like
Mm-hmm.
they knew which girls were going to like not crack, but they knew which girls, if they saw their boyfriend doing something else, like who would be open to the opportunity of getting to know the other guys and who wouldn't. It was very much like a friend island over there, besides obviously me and Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they just got excited once they realized there was more opportunity, but they were never just sitting there being like, all right, so who's ready to hook up next? Like, who's going to crack? They were great. Like, I don't know how they cast so many respectable men in our house, but they did a great job.
See, that's nice to hear because I feel like maybe they would go there trying to like break up a couple. But if they're just going there to like be a part of a cool experience, like you can't blame them for signing up for the show.
Right. Yeah. I can't say the same for the other house. Because there's a
Yeah.
difference between like tempting someone and fully fucking on TV. But
Mm-hmm.
hey,
I
who am
mean,
I
it's
to
called
judge?
Temptation Island, right? It's the
Yeah.
ultimate temptation. Well, what did you think about all the girls? Like, are you friends with any of them
From my house or the other house?
from the other house?
I First of all, I watched the show with everyone. Huge
Mm-hmm.
Amaya fan. She's a star and an icon. She held that down. The
Mm.
other girls, obviously, people have seen, like, I've been in contact with Natalie. I wouldn't say I'm like friends with any of them, but I'm cool. Like, they did their job, they did what they had to do. Watching it back, I don't like love how some things played out, but it is what it is.
You almost like can't
Different.
blame them because it is like the name of the show, even though like your morals might be different. It's just like that's kind of the purpose of them being there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would say. Like, if I was in that position, my morals are definitely different than how some of them acted.
For sure. Is there a difference between a bombshell on Temptation Island versus a bombshell on Love Island?
Are you talking about when we actually had like the two bombshells come in?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I wish they would have actually aired it the way we all reacted, because they walked out and they were like, I actually don't even remember their names, but they were
Hmm.
sweet. They walked out and I wish they would have clipped it. I was like, I've never been so underwhelmed in my whole life.
Right.
It was just
Well, what
like,
about
nah.
like the girls? What about like the girls in the house? Like, are they like the bombshells in Love Island, like trying to steal your men?
Oh. What do you mean? Like, what are you asking exactly?
I mean, like, isn't that like it's like the point? But I'm like,
I
it's the
feel like
point of
it's
both
like
shows,
Casa
right?
Amor. It's like Casa Amor of
Hmm.
Love Island.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, people are just into this show right now, right? Like they're getting their fix right now because Love Island and Temptation Island are so similar. So I guess I'm just trying to see like what's the big comparison and what's like the lore about these two shows
Yeah.
that are making the
When
same audience watch both.
when we when we got off the show, I have the group chat with the four girls, the four of us in my house, and we're like, our show is. We're all just convinced it's gonna flop. And we're like, our show is like the poor man's Casa Amor of Love
Mm.
Island. But
And that's not what happened. Everyone really got into it.
yeah, I did not. We were worried. We were definitely worried it was not going to be a hit or no one was going to care. And we all just like uprooted our whole lives for what?
Yeah. Well, this show's been around for a while, right? This is like
Mm-hmm.
season 3 or this is season 3 or season
It was
9?
confusing. There were seasons back in like 2001, and then they did 5 seasons between like USA and Fox, I think. And this is the first season for Netflix. So I don't even know what they're calling it because it's technically, sorry,
No worries.
sorry, my mom comes through. Do not disturb.
Mhm.
um,
Well, that's amazing. That's important.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so technically we're season 6, but technically we're season 1 of Netflix. So I have no idea. It's very confusing. I tried to avoid that.
Do you think well, it being on Netflix was probably the best thing for the show?
Oh yeah, I mean that was the one of the only reasons I actually did it.
Oh, so you knew it was Netflix in the beginning?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
that's
said
what because
that.
my friend was casting and he was like, "It's on Netflix. Last call," and I was like, "Grant's teetering the line again. Sign us up."
Okay, that makes sense. What did you think about Mark as the host of the show? And I know you did his podcast as well recently.
I think it was really hard. Like it comes off, everyone loves him. He's the therapist of the show. It's hard because he's admitted like he's not watching what's going on in the house. He basically shows up, he gets told what we're going to see I don't even know if he knows what we're going to see beforehand, but he's trying to navigate us through a situation where there's like not a lot of backstory that he is aware of. So it is hard to some of the questions I just like couldn't answer sometimes because I was like, I don't know if you are aware of everything that's going on. But after a certain point, I think he like realized how the relationships were going and it was easier to navigate. But we love Mark. He's a sweetheart. I think he was a great host.
It just sounds like maybe he needs to watch the security cam footage a little bit more.
Yeah. I don't know. That's also dangerous too. That's scary.
Well, yeah, that's like my segue into the next question is like the most complicated part of this experiment is that you're actually getting to see footage of them on the other island. So do you think that almost like helps you or do you think it like makes it worse?
The first bonfire, I was probably the most anxious of my entire life. Like I was so scared. I had no idea what I was going to see. And then it was like kind of my first bonfire was like not it was Grant like tiptoeing, being like, I don't know what's going on and if I want to be in
Mhm.
this or whatever he said. And then after that, my anxiety kind of went down. But I mean, if I would have gone a full month not knowing what was going on, I would have assumed what was going on. And it probably would have kind of played out the same for me. I don't know if I can say that about everyone else. I do think it was helpful that we were able to know what was going on because that's what like flipped my switch to be like, okay, well, I'm going to give other people an opportunity because you're a piece of shit.
And like you have to assume like you're on cameras and that your partner is going to see this. So it's just like how do you forget the cameras are there or how much are you overthinking what you're going to say?
I so Grant has a videography company, so I've been used to being in front of the camera. I think at first it was a lot because it's like hunky ass cameras and everyone's in your face and you're being mic'd up and like boom mics in your face. But I
Mhm.
think I got used to it pretty quickly, but I'm also pretty aware of my surroundings and what's going on. So it's not like I don't think I acted any differently knowing the cameras were there.
Mhm.
Probably tried to
And
swear
clearly
less. I
neither
don't
did
know.
he.
Yeah, clearly neither did. I think he truly forgot he was being filmed. But
That's crazy. I mean, I'm sure like he was also probably not as like aware of like what the concept of the show was going to be and like all of that kind of stuff. And like you
no,
don't
he
think if
was.
you're being he was? Okay, what do
He
I know?
was.
If,
He's just needs help.
Right. So if you're being filmed like so many hours a day, it's like they're gonna
You
show
kind of
those worst moments.
right, right.
T. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions submitted from Instagram?
Yeah. See if I
Okay.
answer them, but yes.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't want to, that's fine. One of the questions I got, like, have you heard from Danny? Are you still talking to Danny?
Yeah, so we are just like we still like flirt friend vibes, but we all just went on a birthday trip last weekend. So I was with Danny and Logan. So still got my two boyfriends.
I love that you can lean into that because they're so
Yeah,
funny and so cute.
I know. I love
Do
them.
you now know where Omaha, Nebraska is?
I do. Actually, I know where Nebraska is. I don't think I know where Omaha is in Nebraska.
Okay. It's just the
Like on
biggest
a
city
like
in
I couldn't you
Nebraska.
couldn't give me Omaha and I or you couldn't give me Nebraska and I'd be like able to pinpoint where Omaha is. But we'll
Got
work
it.
on it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll take a geography class. Someone says, is she still looking for her person? I'd love to see if we are a good fit. So are the DMs open?
The DMs are open.
You're
I
open,
I'm open. I'm open. I don't know what exactly I'm looking for right now, but I'm open.
for sure. Someone wants to know what your biggest regret is on Temptation Island.
I think if you would have asked me before the show, I was convinced that I was just talking mad shit about Grant on Grant's behalf. And watching it back, I don't think that I was nearly as bad as I had been convinced. So I don't really have any regrets.
You really weren't. And also, I felt like with the reunion, it was like on the Vial Files, I felt like you guys were talking in circles for way too long about like that same situation.
I just was sitting there like, is anyone gonna tell him to shut the fuck up?
Or like, can we move on? Like, I just like I
Yeah,
couldn't. Yeah, yeah. Well, what did you think of Nick and Natalie? Great podcast. They're super talented. What did you think of filming your reunion with them?
I love them. I think they did great. I think they did great navigating what questions to ask and letting us kind of just have free range of how to talk. We probably could have stopped some people sometimes, but I mean, I think they did a great job navigating it, and it was a great
Hmm.
environment from my experience, at least.
For sure. I mean, they are the reality king and queen over there. They're killing it. So
I
I
love
thought they did
them.
a great job as well. It just could have, they needed to cut him off though when it was the circles. But I
I
love
did
how,
not realize that they were just gonna. Not that it mattered, but I did not realize they were going to put the full 2.5 hours out there. I was like, damn, we're going to really have to listen to this man talk.
oh my God, I know I understand that. Like literally we're finishing this interview at 30 minutes. Okay, everyone. So everyone wants to know what's next for you. Like, what are you kind of working on? What are some of your goals right now?
So, like I said earlier, I did the whole corporate America, worked really hard in my early 20s. So, I feel like this opportunity that came along, I really want to lean into it. And I would love to do more shows, lean into the whole influencing thing. Like I said, I just didn't realize people would actually like me and like resonate with me. So, I'm still
Hmm.
navigating it. It still has not registered in my brain, I feel like. But I'm just trying to ride the wave and see where it takes me. And I'm just open to anything and any new experiences with it.
For sure. You're young, you're fun, you got all these new followers. I mean, you have totally got to lean into it and start posting more content. And I'm sure there's a bright future ahead of you. Maybe you'll go on another show. I mean, a lot of these questions are like, where is her necklace from the bonfire? They want to know about your dresses and your outfits and your skincare routine. Where can we find what you're wearing? Like, are you linking all the clothes that you wore on the show?
So a lot of my stuff is on Amazon. So I've been posting my storefront, but I am in the works of creating my Like to Know It, my LTK. So
Mm.
I will get it out there, I promise, but it'll all be in my link tree on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah, LTK is like really good. They're having like a pop-up today at like a coffee shop in LA, and I'm gonna stop
Love
by and
that.
see what's going on. But all the girlies love LTK. Like I think that's like kind of the
I
go-to
have
place
it.
and
I've created
Amazon
it. Yeah, I've created it. I just haven't. I've been so all over the place. I just need to get to it.
for sure. And you're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
And you born, raised, staying there forever? Like, do you have any plans to move?
I am from the Chicago suburbs. I moved down to Florida like 3 years ago, and
Mm,
I have nothing tying me anywhere. So if I ever needed to be anywhere, I could do whatever.
for sure. If you had to go on another show, which reality show would it be?
I feel like the obvious answer is Perfect Match just because that's fun. But I also would love like The Mole or any game show type things. I feel like I could have a good mind for that.
Oh my God, Perfect Match would needs to call you immediately. But they're gonna call
Yeah,
him
can
too.
someone
And I'm
tell them
like,
to call
no.
me? Hello?
Yeah, for sure. But the mole, oh my God. And if you go on a strategy show, there is a lot less pressure to date because obviously
Right,
that is like a lot more like emotional effort than like just strategy, you know?
right. I agree.
So we'll see. But do you have like a day job? Like, do you have like I'm sorry if I missed it on the show.
Oh, no. So I am a CPA. I was an accountant, and I kind of just stopped doing that recently. So just really trying to lean into this whole thing.
No, absolutely. I get it. What else were some of your biggest takeaways? Like, how did you learn and grow from this experience? And like, what do you really want people to like know before we go?
Like I said, I've been so mind warped into like what the reality of it was and how it's actually played out. And everyone's like, I am like astounded by how many people have reached out and been like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm in the same situation. How do I get out? XYZ. Like, it takes time and it takes grace. Like, clearly, I'm not proud to say I went back to him, but like, it just takes time. And we're all going to get there. We're all going to figure it out. We're all on our own journeys. But I think my biggest takeaway is like really, really like take people for their actions and not their words. And like, if someone's doing you dirty, like cut them off, because I gave this man so many opportunities that he did not deserve. And it was a waste of time. It might have brought me this experience, which is great, but definitely, definitely gave me some stress and anxiety. So
So what do you think like the cutoff is for like all the girls listening? Like how many chances should you give your man before you break up with them? Like
I
realistically,
want
like
to say
now that you
none.
know.
I want to say none, but the reality is like at least one. Like, but maybe not after they cheat. After they cheat, get the fuck out, because I learned the lesson for all of us. So we don't have to do it.
Right. I mean, everyone's gonna make like mistakes, like that's part of life. But like as far as like cheating and like the disrespect, like how do you recognize that immediately? Like what are you gonna really take into your next relationships so that you are not dating someone who is going to treat you, you know, poorly again?
I think in terms of my last relationship, there was red flags before I started dating him. So I kind of
Mm.
went into it hoping things would change with an official title. And you can't really think that way. You need to see how people are going to treat you from the jump and read based off that.
Hmm. And what are some of the qualities you're looking for in your next man? Like what are we manifesting?
I love manifesting. I haven't thought about it too much. I feel like I've been so stressed with everything. I would love someone to come into
Mm.
my life that's just like fun and exciting, someone that's financially stable, because I've been taking care of someone for the last few years. And I've just always been independent. So I've never needed someone. I've just wanted someone that makes my life fun, exciting, and we can do cool shit together. And hot, of
Absolutely. And you're
course.
a hot is so important. Oh my gosh, you've got to be handsome. But totally, like definitely, you're just in this phase of like decompressing from the show, and you know you're finding yourself and picking up the pieces. So I think that you know that's great, and I think a lot of people want to follow your journey and see what's next. So where can everybody find you and follow you, and what do we have to look forward to?
You guys can find me and follow me on TikTok and Instagram. It's underscore ASHH more, MOORE, on both platforms. I'm just going to be pumping out content and trying to do fun things with my life to share. And that's kind of the extent of it right now. Like you said, I'm decompressing. So this
Mhm.
is all just a shock to me, and I still don't even know what I'm doing, but we're going to figure it out.
You got this. Just take some
Yes.
workout classes, do some
Yeah.
yoga, and your life is going to feel so much more complete in a couple weeks when you fully have decompressed from the whirlwind you've just experienced. And I definitely think all of your fans are going to love to follow you on this next chapter. So thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having me. This was like a dream come true.
You're so silly. Thank you all so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. And Ashley, we have got to link up next time you're in LA.
Yes, we do. I'm there pretty often, so we'll see when I come next, but I would love to meet up.
Okay, we're going to have some fun. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.